Hi, welcome to my awesome tech trainings in 15 minutes or less. These are presented by me, Heather Crosser. Today, we're going to be looking at School Fusion. Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in. Today we are going to be looking at School Fusion. Now before we get started, I wanted to remind you of the handout that I've made. I have created this handout that works right along with the video that I'm going to record today. So if you have, if you wanted to print this out and kind of use this as a guide, that is recommended, or you could just keep it up in a window and use that as well. But I just wanted to let you know that I will be going through all of the steps today that are right here on the handout, so that may make it a little bit easier for you. So here we go. We're going to get started. Now in order to get started, we need to log into our School Fusion. To do that, we want to use Mozilla Firefox. It is just within our contract that Firefox works better with School Fusion. Now you certainly could use Internet Explorer, but if you start experiencing any different or weird issues, you'll want to switch back to Mozilla Firefox. So the first thing that we want to do is go to the employee intranet page. So I just go www.ffca.org, click employee intranet, and then you would have to go to your school page depending on what school you're from. I'm in the tech building, so I just log into the main page, but you would log in within your school. So say you're at Aragon, you would go to Aragon Elementary first, and then you would scroll down and log in right here where it says School Fusion Login. Okay, so remember, once you go to your school's webpage, then you will log in. Your username should be your full email. If it's not, it's just the first letter of your first name and your last name, and then your password. And the password again should be the password that you use to log into Infinite Campus if you don't remember. So click Login, and you will be logged into your School Fusion. Let me remind you right here, a very important thing is you want to look for these little arrows. In the tech world, people call them carrots, but look for these little arrows here. If you do not see these arrows next to all these different links here, then it will not work. As you click them, it will keep popping you up to the top. So if you're not seeing these arrows, what you want to do is you want to refresh. If that still does not work, then I would suggest logging out, closing your Mozilla Firefox window, and then opening it back up again and trying it another time. So again, need to have these little guys here. Now that we are all logged in, we're going to get started. I'm using Miss Watson's website as an example. Thank you to her for letting me do this. So as you see under here, under our little menu, we want to look for School Fusion pages with the arrows. If we click that, we're going to click on our classroom page. This should already be set up for you. If it is not, you would need to contact either your secretary or the help desk to help you with this. So I'm going to click it, and it's going to bring us to Miss Watson's webpage. Okay. So what we're going to work on in this section is we're going to work on changing our background, and we're also going to work on adding a picture and a description here. So in order to change our background and to work on this part of it, we want to click right here where it says Edit Configuration. Alright, once we hit Edit Configuration, we're going to scroll down here to the bottom. Underneath here, we're going to see Edit Background or Sound. So let's start there. There's different backgrounds that you can choose from. If you click the arrow, you can see there's lots of different options here. So let's say it's winter, so let's look at some snowflakes here. In order to see what it looks like, unfortunately, I have to click Save, and that will give me, it actually will change my background. But don't worry, if I don't like it, then I can go through and I can take it back. So we see this is what the snowflakes would look like. If we wanted to choose another one, maybe we were teaching music, we're going to click Save. And there you have it. Now we have music notes. Okay. I'm actually going to, if I don't like any of these that are on here, I don't have to have a background. So all I need to do is go back up to No Background and click Save. And that will give me back here. Okay. So there's how we do that, and we're going to click back to Fusion page, back to Fusion home page, just to get back to our website here. Okay, now we wanted to add a picture here and edit the description. So we'll start with the description. All I have to do is click edit description. Okay, you would just type it right here, and you see we have lots of different options where you can make the font different, all that sort of stuff. But I just put a little introduction about this is your class page. What are some things that you will be doing with it? You know, how will your website benefit your parents and your students? And so this is a good place to put this. When you're all finished with your description, we're going to click edit description. And you can see here, this is our page description. Welcome to our class, blah, blah, blah. But you get it. The description goes right here. Now we want to choose a picture right here. You could use your own picture if you wanted to here. You could use a class picture. That would depend on you. I already have a picture added, so mine just says delete, but yours would say add picture. So you would click it. I'll just delete it quick, I guess. All right, so we're going to see how it says add picture now. So we're going to come here, we're going to add picture. You're going to browse for the picture that you would like to add to this. Here it is right here. I'm going to add our clip art picture here. And then I click add picture. And it just takes a minute. And here we go. We now have our background, which I chose to go with just a white background. We have our picture added, and we also have our little page description. Again, that would be our objective or the purpose of our website for our parents and our students. Alright, moving right along. In this next section, we're going to look at adding announcements as well as adding discussion topics to our website. To add an announcement, the announcements are right on the top here. We see we can move this here, so actually you can put these in any order that you want to within your website, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But for now, if you're looking for announcements, it's right on the top. If you wanted to change announcements to something else, you would just click the little pin here, and you would add announcements, and it may have already been changed to something, and I changed that, but you could put whatever you wanted to call it. Prosser's Top News. Whatever you wanted to, and just click submit, and that would change right up here. And I know we're using Miss Watson's. I said my name, a little bit confusing, but I just wanted to show you the different options. We're going to click add an announcement for adding our announcement. Okay, so you're going to title it whatever you want. If you had a field trip coming up, if you had different projects that you were doing in your class, or if you needed special things or were doing special things within your classrooms, the announcements are a great place to add this. So you would just give it a title, so maybe field trip. Here's where you would type the information about your field trip. You can add pictures within here. You can add links, all different types of things. So actually we don't want to add a picture here. What we want to do is come down here, and you would browse to add your picture within here. So if we had another one that we could add, I'm not sure if I have any pictures here. Let's just add some little guy here. We'll just add this one. So you can put a picture here. Once you click save, we're going to make sure that we click in the box, and we're going to click save. And then you can see that our lovely little picture there. But down here at my other example is you could put, you know, a nice JPEG in here, a nice little clip art picture, and then just kind of spruce it up. Instead of just putting the text, I think it's kind of nice to add the picture. It just adds a little bit of I don't know, a little bit of pizzazz to your website. Okay, next we're going to add our discussions. Again, you can click the pencil to rename this to whatever you wanted to name it if you had a catchy little title for it. Otherwise, just name it discussion topics. And so here we're going to add topic. And view future topics is something that you can set up. So let's click add topic. So when you come to the add topics, you can see here, you can actually choose the week that you want it to be displayed in. Okay, and so as you see, as you go through this, you can choose it to set it at a later date. So as you saw on there, it said view future topics. You can actually set these topics up for the whole year. You could set them up for a month. You could set them up for 2 months ahead of time. So that's kind of something sometimes people like to work ahead. And that way then when it's set, it will just automatically post the new discussion. You don't have to remember to go in on Sunday night and add it. So again, this is just an example. So we just call whatever we want our discussion to be. You would add it here. Okay. We want to share it with our colleagues. If you had students, it would be listed with here where you can add your students. So you can have anonymous participation where anybody can add and it won't put their name. But you can also have school-wide participation. So again, this would be if you have students that are able to log into SchoolFusion. I know within the middle school and the high school they use this option a lot. So we're going to have school-wide participation, and you can use code names. So instead of their name being up on the web, you would instead have the different code names, and this is very good for privacy and that sort of stuff. Okay. So here you go. Again, we want to choose it to our website. So we can say save it and schedule next week's content. So we can save it and add another discussion, or we can save it and return to home. So I'm just going to return to home quick. So now we come back down here and we see it. So we have more. So we have a couple of it because I've just added 2. So this is what, if you click it, this is what it will first, this is what it looks like on your main web page. Okay, so it's right here, listed right here. But if you actually click here on the title of your discussion, this is what it will look like. So then it will be just listed here, and then the students or parents would be able to add comments if this is something that you would want it to do. So there we go. The next thing that we're going to look at within SchoolFusion is we're going to look at adding files and folders, and then also adding different links and websites to your classroom webpage. So always to get back to your main web page, you want to click SchoolFusion Pages and just click the name of your website. So we're going to come back here. So again, we want to scroll down, and you see here we have links and we have files. If I wanted them to be actually over here, we could move it over here. And I know that links is probably set over here for most of you right now, and that's just what I did here. If you just see, you just kind of pick it up and kind of move that to wherever you want. But we'll just put that over here for now. We'll put the discussions up here. We'll leave our files here. Again, you can name this whatever cutesy name you have, otherwise leave it as files. Either way works good. So we want to decide, do we need to just add some files? Different files would be if you have spelling lists, vocabulary lists, if you have a project menu that you want to give the students, if you have information about a field trip coming up that you want to add, this is a great place to do it. Different handouts for your classrooms that you may want students and parents to refer back to, different tutorials you might have made for them, whatever it is. You would need to decide if it's just going to be one link or one file that you need to add, then you just want to add a file. But if you're working within and you have multiple items, if you're having a project that has multiple items, you're going to want to add a folder. If you have spelling lists, you maybe want to add a folder and just call it your spelling list. If you're working on a different theme within your classroom, maybe you want to add it for that. It kind of depends on you. So let's say that we're doing a project. I'm going to click Add Folder. Maybe our project's going to be on ancient Egypt. Okay. You want to give a short description. This folder will contain all of the resources you will need to complete your project. Okay. Luckily, you can see here it actually spell checks for us, and so that's a pretty nice feature because we don't want to be putting words not spelled correctly. Okay. Don't need to worry about any of these parent folders, that sort of stuff right now. So we're just adding a folder. So we're going to click Add Folder. So we come back to our website and we scroll down. We can now see that we have a folder added under our files. So now I want to add some links or resources to this file folder. I'm going to click our pencil again. If I messed up and I didn't want it, all I would have to do is click the X and that would delete it. So let's click here. It's going to open this up. I'll click Edit Folder. Oh. Okay, excuse my small mess up. We have created the folder. Once we've created the folder, we actually have to come up here to add files within our folder. So we need to click Add Files. So now we're going to browse for the files. I don't have anything for ancient Egypt in itself, but I'll just kind of put some random things here. And so I'll pretend like this is a project menu that I've created for them, maybe a classroom rubric so that they know how the project will be graded, and then any other kind of resources I might want to provide for my students. I would just choose it, click Open. Again, you want to give them a short description here so that they know what part this would be, what this would be for, what this file would be for. Clearly can't spell today, so good thing for the spell check. Okay, the parent folder is an important one because we want to make sure that we add it. We're doing a project within our ancient Egypt, so we want to make sure we add it to our ancient Egypt folder. And just click Add File. And as you can see down here, if we click on ancient Egypt, within there we have different files. So this would be all the files that you would want listed within there. Okay, we can always click here and always go back to the Fusion homepage, and that just gets us back to our main page. So if I just wanted to add a file here without being in a folder, I would have just clicked Add Files, browsed for the one that I wanted to add. Again, just kind of grabbing some random things here I might want to add. Can't even think of anything here, so whatever. We'll just take the same one again. Okay, the description here. We don't want a parent folder, we just want it to go. So we're going to make sure this stays none. And then here, again, make sure we check which website we wanted to go to. Most of us only have one, but in the middle school and high school level, we have more than one. So just make sure that you choose the different ones that you wanted to go to. And that's pretty nice because you don't have to just do this step for every single website if you have the same website for the different classes. However you have yours set up. And let's click Add File. Okay. And so we see in here again, we have just files added, but we can also create folders. Just a nice feature to use and it's just a great resource for parents to have. Okay, now we have links and different websites or resources that we want to give our students. Again, it kind of defaults to over here on the right side. It's a little bit small, so I want to just click the little arrow, the little moving, I don't know what you want to call it, pick, and just move it, and that way it's a little bit easier for the students to read or to use. It's kind of up to you if you wanted your discussion topics over here, if you wanted your homework. It just kind of depends on the different things. Alright, we're going to add links. So again, we can create category or we can just add the links. So you'd want to create categories if you're going to put up, if you like elementary, if you teach elementary and you have different subjects, if you teach reading, you teach math, and you have different links that you want to go into those subjects, you can add them here instead of just a big list of links. But you can also just create and add your links. Say you only teach algebra and you're just going to add algebra links. So you can either create a category, create a link. Again, I'm going to click Create Category. Okay, maybe I was going to call this vocabulary links. So I would just name it, short description if you want. It does appear on the website, so you don't want it to be too long, but here are some fun games to help you with vocabulary. You don't have to just do vocabulary. I know we do lots of different themes. So if you're working on a unit and you have a theme that you're doing, maybe you're doing the Arctic. So maybe you want to create a folder or a category that are going to be all the links that you use for that theme. Just depends on how you want to do it. We're going to again choose the websites we want them to appear on. We only have one, so I'm just going to choose the one, and then I'm going to click the button that says create link category. And again, we'll scroll down here, and we now see that we have the vocabulary links that I have added. Again, anyone that you don't want, you just click the X. If you want to change the name, you click the pencil. So now let's create a link. So within the vocabulary links, we're going to come here. Okay. You're going to find your website. If you have it opened over here, so say I'm just going to go to Bing. So say you're going to use a website, you could come over here and you can right click and copy the name of the website. Maybe you added some websites into your bookmarks, or maybe you just know the name of the website. Come over here, we're just going to right click and paste it in here. You're going to name it. I'm just using Bing as an example right now. Again, a short description. This could be Starfall, this could be, there's all kinds of awesome, amazing websites out there, so there's no end or no limit to what this could be. But once we're all finished, we're going to make sure the website's selected, and we're going to hit create link. So if we scroll down, we can see that we have a vocabulary, and if we click the little plus sign here, it's going to show us all the different links that we have in here. Right now I have Bing in here. Okay, so you can create even different little subcategories. If you were working on a theme, so say you're working on the Arctic, you could create a subcategory that would be for reading, and then another subcategory that would be for math. So it just matters on how well you want to organize things. But also, you can just add a link. So you can just come to create a link. Just going to kind of use my Crosser Cares. Give it a title, and again, short description. Whatever. Okay. You can make sure it opens in a new window. This is kind of a nice thing to do in case otherwise they'll just go over the window that you were on and they might get confused. So I like to open in a new window, create my website, create the link. And as you see here, we have just added it. So it's not listed as a subcategory. Instead, it's just listed as category. Whoops, I think this. Okay, one more clarification. If you do notice how Bing went down here and it did not go under my vocabulary links, so I took the wrong information. I'm sorry. If you follow the handout, it's correct. But in order to get a link added here, you'll click on the plus, and then within here you can either create a subcategory or create a link right within inside of there. So you don't, if you just want to create a link, you're going to use this one, and it's just going to put them here. But if you want to create a link within a folder or a category, within a category that you have created, you're going to click the category, click the plus sign, and then click create link. And so this is where you would want to. So say we want to add starfall.com. We want to make sure we add the category up here. So this is the difference. So we want to add this to a reading. Short title, short description. You don't have to put a description, but if you want to, open a new window, and we're going to click create link. So let's scroll down, and now we can see, we don't see Starfall this time, but if we click the plus, we'll see under here, as I've already added it once, but we can see that here's the new link that we've added. So again, creating a category, you click here, and these would be the different categories that you want. If you just want to add a link, like I have down here, you hit create link. Once you've created the category, click the plus sign and then create link, and that's where you can create the links within that category. Alright, so we're getting right here to the end. If you're following along with the handout, that's all that I've covered within the handout, but there is a couple more things that I wanted to show you. Within here, you actually have your calendar, and so this is a great resource to use if you have different field trips coming up, if you have field trip money due, if you have different projects due, again, if you have different assignments, if you have different special events happening at the school or within the classroom. I would totally use this calendar because it helps the parents to get organized as well as yourself. So the only thing we want to do is you click add an event. Very simple. So I didn't add it to the handout, but you just give it a name. I'm just kind of sticking with the field trip theme. So we have our field trip. Of course, you would want to put the name of it. Maybe you're going to the apple orchard. Okay, you can choose the date that this is going to happen on. Just picking some random dates here. You can even put the time that the field trip is going to start and the time that it would end. Summary, description if you needed it, the person to contact if they had any questions. You don't have to. These are all things you don't have to. You can add, but you don't have to add these. You can add a link. Again, if you're going somewhere that has a website that maybe you need parents to do, you want to add the link name. Add the link here. Email notification. You could have that email them either immediately or an hour before the event, a day, 12 hours before. That's a pretty handy tool to have. If you're RSVPing, if they need to reserve for this, you would want to put this here. And if this is something that's going to repeat, if you're going to have different trainings or different events in your classroom or within your school that happen repeatedly, you could add it here. So I guess I should put, that's good, actually that's good. So we'll just click add event. Okay, it says your email will be sent out, and this is where you would add in the different email information if you wanted to. I'm not going to type anything here, but this is an awesome, great feature. And all of this, the trick is to make your life easier. So if you are having a field trip, and this is a great way to add some information for it, and then to even include that email and just take care of it right now so you don't have to remember day of field trip to go and email your parents to remind them to get the necessary materials. Again, you can add field trip permission slip forms, you could add flyers, different information that you might have. You could send email. Okay. So now we're going to go back to our School Fusion page. And within the calendar itself, I just wanted you to see that it creates this little gray shaded area, and that just shows you that there's an event. Parents will click on it, students will click on it, and it's going to open it up here to a little preview of it. So that's a nice feature. Again, homework assignments. You can also add different assignments within here. Very important to learn our math facts. So you maybe want your students practicing their math fact page here. Put the information, the day that you can put the description on here. If you even had it where they could submit it online, you could click this option here. That's it. And we're going to click save. Okay. So now we have our homework assignments there. And the last thing I wanted to do is just show you that you really can move these things around however you want. If you just want to take your files, put them over here. If you wanted your discussion topics, probably over here in a little bigger format. The links on the bottom. I just try to balance it out. You don't want the main body part of the page going way down, and then this over here, the little toolbars, being too short. So I just try to keep a balance here. These are the Fusion tools. You can add web pages, you can add contacts, different wikis, videos, and podcasts, but that's a little bit more advanced feature that we will not be covering in this tutorial. But that's it. So let me show you. Okay, as a final wrap up, I just wanted to kind of show you my real web page. It is available to everyone if you just find me. I'm under the instructional technology. Within, if you come here, departments, go instructional technology. You have to make sure you're logged in. And then I actually just linked myself right over here. So if you just click Heather Crosser, Educational Technology Instructor, this will bring you to my page. But I just kind of want to show you This is the way that I've set mine up. I use the little announcement here and just kind of put as my as the top title of my page, put a description of different things, but this would be more description of your classroom web page. It would not be this long. Mine's this long because I created it as I'm new to the district and I wanted you all to find the information and learn about me. There's different wikis. As I said, you could add more of an advanced feature. We have our calendar. Homework's over here. Our links, I just have my links right over here. You could add videos and different podcasts to this. Announcements, discussion topics, and files. So you see the main body of my part here is a little bit longer than I have over here on my side, but that's okay. That certainly works. Again, I like to add pictures to kind of just create a little more depth to my page and a little more excitement instead of just text. We have different discussion topics that we could work on, and I've even added different files that I think would be helpful to you guys throughout the year as you teach. So there you go. Thank you for tuning in to my School Fusion page, and I look forward to seeing you in training. Have a great day.